Right now, you exist. You're breathing. You're watching this video. But 74,000 years ago, there was a moment where every human on this planet could have fit inside a single stadium. Not a city, a stadium. We were that close to disappearing forever, and almost nobody talks about it. Let's go back. 74,000 years ago, the world looks nothing like today. There are no cities, no roads, no history book. There are just small groups of humans, maybe 100,000 of them total, scattered across Africa. They're living near coastline, hunting, gathering, surviving. They have fire, they have tools, they have language. They are, without knowing it, the most intelligent species this planet has ever produced, and they have absolutely no idea what's coming. On the island we now call Sumatra, in Indonesia, something has been building for thousands of years. Underneath the ground, a chamber of magma the size of a small country is filling up, slowly, silently. This volcano has erupted before, twice in the past million years. Each time, it destroyed everything around it, but this time will be different. This time, it will nearly end the world. Approximately 74,000 years ago, the volcano known as Toba exploded. Not like a normal volcano, not like anything recorded in human history. It released 2,800 cubic kilometers of magma into the sky. For comparison, the Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 released about 1 cubic kilometer. Toba released 2,800 times that. The explosion was so powerful, it could be heard from 10,000 kilometers away. Ash shot 50 kilometers into the atmosphere. A column of fire and rock rose above the cloud. In a single day, the entire island of Sumatra was buried under meters of ash. The sky turned black. What happened next was worse than the explosion itself. When that much ash and sulfur dioxide enters the upper atmosphere, it acts like a blanket that blocks sunlight for years, maybe a decade. Some scientists say longer. Global temperatures dropped by 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. Think about what that means. Plants die without sunlight. When plants die, animals that eat plants die. When those animals die, the predators that eat them die. The entire food chain began to collapse. In some parts of the world, ash fell for weeks. Rivers turned gray, lakes turned acidic, forests burned and never grew back. For the small groups of humans scattered across Africa, this was a catastrophe. Their food sources disappeared. Their water sources became poisoned. The cold came fast and stayed. People who had survived their whole lives by hunting and gathering suddenly had nothing to hunt, nothing to gather. They moved, they searched. Many died looking for food that wasn't there anymore. Whole groups vanished. Communities that had existed for generations gone, and one by one, human fires started going out. Geneticists call what happened next the human population bottleneck. When scientists today examine human DNA from all over the world, they find something strange. For a species that has been around for 300,000 years, our genetic diversity is shockingly low. Chimpanzees living in a single African forest have more genetic variation than all 8 billion humans alive today. This means we all come from a tiny group of survivors. The estimates vary. Some scientists say 10,000 people. Some say fewer. Some of the most respected genetic studies suggest the number may have dropped as low as 1,000 breeding individuals. Think about that. Everyone alive today, every person you've ever seen or read about, all of us descended from a group smaller than your high school. So how did they make it? The survivors, whoever they were, had one advantage. They lived near the coast of southern Africa. The ocean is more stable than land. Fish don't disappear when ash falls from the sky. Shellfish survive in shallow water. Kelp and seaweed are incredibly resilient. The coast gave them food when nothing else could. They also had fire, and crucially, they had each other. Small group, tight cooperation, knowledge shared across generations. They didn't give up. They couldn't afford to. And slowly, over centuries, the sky began to clear. Plants returned, animals returned, and the humans who had held on began to multiply again. The evidence for all of this isn't just in the rock. It's in you, right now. Every human on Earth shares a remarkably similar genetic code. When scientists trace our mitochondrial DNA, the genetic material passed from mother to child, they can trace it back to a single woman who lived in Africa roughly 150,000 years ago. They call her mitochondrial Eve. And our Y chromosome traces back to a single man, Y chromosomal Adam. These weren't the only two people alive, but at some point, all other genetic lines died out. Toba may have been the moment that narrowed everything down to almost nothing. Here's the part that gets me. Every person who ever lived after that moment, every philosopher, every king, every scientist, every parent, every child, all of them descended from a tiny group of people who refused to die on the coast of Africa 74,000 years ago. They didn't know what they were doing. They weren't trying to save humanity. They were just trying to find their next meal. And because they did, you exist. Every morning you wake up is the result of an unbroken chain of survival, stretching back 74,000 years. Not one link in that chain broke. Not one. And you're the proof. The world almost ended once. We were the ones who didn't let it. Remember that the next time things feel impossible.